Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, yesterday we spoke about the heart and the major uh, things that the people who are knowledgeable about the secret of the heart must be aware about. Today we're going to discuss the mind. You see that the role of the heart and uh, the mind is difficult to differentiate, but there is a certain role of the heart and there is a certain role of the mind. But because of the close proximity of it is difficult to differentiate between them with ease. The world that we see around us is a world that has been made on the mind. If you look around everything, all the developments that you see around and things, these are mostly on the basis of the mind. But the beauty of Islam is on the beauty of the qulub. The things that the Prophet ﷺ was blessed with, they came into his mind. That the beauty of the qulub and the beauty of Islam was a beauty that came into the heart, the qulub. The Prophet ﷺ spoke much about that. The intellect of the heart is deep. It is rather very deep, which is why we notice that the Prophet ﷺ was often in deep thinking. And today mental health is a big issue, and which is why we wanted to cover this. And it is a problem for both Muslims and non-Muslims around the world. We are fortunate that we have such a religion as beautiful that helps us manage both beautifully. There is many mental abnormalities hold us, and we are surrounded by it. We see them around us, and we are a part of it. We accept it, but they are abnormalities. These are away from the normal functioning of the mind. All the odd things that you see around you are a product of the mind. So, what must we do? We must have top class thinking and top class actions which will guide us through the way. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bless us with this tawfiq. Only He can bless us so that we may have the best of thinking, the best of actions, the best of understandings of things. Just as we take care of a farm, how do the crops grow? We sow seeds, we take care of the manure, we take care of the kind of fertilizers that we use. All of that becomes a part and process of how the farm would, the kind of crops that it would grow. Similarly, the mind must also be taken care of. The heart chart has the circle area, point number 16 and 17. If you look at that, we have shared that over the course of the lectures. You must look at that. That the 16 and 17 points mention the mental problems. That man cannot think right, and very often the actions are also, he cannot think right, he does not have the right understanding, nor does he have the right actions. And the intellect is present both in the heart and the mind, but the intellect of the heart is deeper, since that ilm comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is a famous saying that your attitude decides your altitude. May Allah bless us with the attitude of the Prophet ﷺ, for he had the best of attitudes of all human beings. May Allah bless us with an attitude just like the Prophet ﷺ. The mind is like a target. The mind is like a magnet. When we think of Allah's rahmah, it attracts Allah's rahmah. What we think, this is also a saying that what we think is what we attract, and that is who we become. So when the mind serves like a magnet, when we think of Allah's rahmah, inshallah, summa inshallah, Allah's rahmah will come. When we think of obstructions, obstructions will come. As it is said that Allah is with the ghuman of the believer. How a believer thinks and expects from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does as per the expectations of the believer. When you have good guman from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah good will come. And some people are blessed with this beautiful way of life that they have, that they are blessed with good thinking. They are blessed with a positive mind. They are blessed with calmness, serenity, and a good understanding with an intelligent mind. We must remain optimistic, for if you're optimistic, inshallah, good things will come. It is important to remain in a state where you are smiling and relaxed. People have lost the ability to smile. Our journey in London made us see that people don't smile much there. And they have lost the beauty of smiling at one another. It could be because of the taxes, the heaviness in the living, fast life. There's not much to reflect on. It's just a constant struggle each day, and people have lost this. They're so busy in their lives and so fast. May Allah protect us from that. Ameen. You must think of consequences as well. In your actions, they must be guided by consequences. And a calm, strong, intelligent mind saves you from thousands of embarrassments and problems. May Allah bless us with that. The mind is surrounded by many things, such as negativity, forgetfulness, jahala, some kind of ignorance, arrogance, bad habits, addictions that have been developed over the years, and hence the decisions are wrong. Correct decision is also something which is difficult by people to have, just because the mind is surrounded by these things. By negativity, forgetfulness, ignorance, arrogance, bad habits, addictions, and so on. Many are educated, but even then they don't have the ability to have the right decisions. And because of such negativity and problems around, divorce is common around the world as we see today. We look at Japan, we look at America, Europe, even the Middle East, it's very unfortunate that incorrect thinking has resulted in marital chaos. Families are getting broken around the world, and this is something to think about. It is a cause of concern. If you have correct decisions, the life will light up. There will be a light. There will be rona. There will be beauty in that. But shaitan, unfortunately, will not allow you to make correct decisions, because we take so much from the senses. The impact of the senses, from the eyes, the mind. The moment the eyes perceive something or see something, immediately the mind thinks in a haphazard way. The mind thinks opposite to what is correct. The moment you hear something, there is a wrong thinking which gets developed in the mind, which results in the wrong understanding of that subject. There's a saying that don't just go through life, but learn how to manage it well. You must educate the mind. By educating it, there are many things that you will be more watchful about. May Allah bless us with such a mind and such a heart that good things become a result of that. We can't cover all the points in the lectures, but we request you to go to the website and read more about this subject. Now, I want to mention the 7 major usages of the mind which we were to cover in this lecture. The first point is that the mind must remain focused to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 24/7 towards the commands of Allah and the Sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all responsibilities. Point number 2, the mind must closely monitor everything with a multidimensional approach so that no mistakes are committed in performance. When we have a multidimensional approach, inshallah, we'll be able to look at all the different aspects of life. It is not just that you do business, but you also take care of your family, you take care of your children, the education, your health. So you must have a multidimensional approach. And by not just focusing at one thing, but having a helicopter view of the whole life. Point number 3, identify what are the deceptions and destructions hidden in the subject you are dealing with. Point number 4, being fully focused to the present subject you are dealing with. Point number 5, the mind should not be diverted towards the subjects of non-priority. Point 6, being aware that the past memory and images from the mind and waswasa of the heart are not tricking the mind through shaitan's influence. Your mind should not get fooled into committing wrong actions. And lastly, protect and guard the mind from the influence of the senses, negativity, and forgetfulness. These are the 7 major areas where the mind gets used, and this is how we must try and maintain these 7 points in our mind so we're able to also retrieve and explore the intellect of the mind just as we do of the qulub. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.